What's going on, guys? It's Snoo603 from Shoosty Bang, and joining me today is Mr. Why Not the Tiger.
Hello.
So today we're going to talk about Air Superiority for the new Endgame DLC, and since Tony is my wonderful guest today, I'm going to let him go first and share his thoughts on what he feels about Air Superiority and everything it involves.
My first impressions are, I say at the beginning of the match I didn't like it, but by the end of the match I actually absolutely loved it. It just takes a little time to get used to the flow of the battle and all the guys everywhere. You just gotta learn how to play the game mode, I think is what it is. And if you're a jet pilot, you'll like it. If you're not a jet pilot, I don't think you're gonna enjoy it very much.
Yeah, simply put, I am not a jet pilot. I never have been. Like, I've tried actually quite a bit ever since Battlefield 3 first came out. But I never could get the hang of it, and I always struggled. So when I heard about Air Superiority coming out, I was probably one of the few people that just didn't give a hoot about it. I was like, okay, well, I suck at flying jets, so this is probably not gonna be my game type. And then we played a couple rounds of it tonight, and it was exactly what I thought it was gonna be. A lot of missed opportunities on my part because I just suck at flying. I can't aim for shit. If you think I'm bad with a gun, you should see just how awful I am, which you can see in this gameplay when I'm trying to aim with a jet and just... I can't figure it out. I haven't got the perfect turning speeds down and everything. It was just very, very frustrating for me. And add into the fact, just the complete clusterfuck of 24 jets being in the air. And I don't know if it's supposed to be more on PC. I'm assuming there will be. I can't even imagine. Like, I know the maps and the sizes will be bigger, so you get a little more spread out, but... Dude, can you imagine, like, with how much of a cluster... Right, like, I have a feeling it's going to be capped at, like, 48, but even still, dude, with 24 jets flying around, like, how many times did you die, never mind, everyone died, just from getting collisions?
I think probably half of my deaths were from being run into by someone on my own team. So that's, like, the biggest problem is, if you're not a flyer, you just really don't have situational awareness in the air because you don't have to. You're like a ground guy. So when you start getting involved in air combat and you're not paying attention to what you're doing, or you get sort of target fixation, you get that like tunnel vision, then you just run into people all the time. And it just sucks when you're chasing a guy, and it's just like, it's like when we were playing TDM, you know, it's like, let's all chase the guy with a red ball, you know, like let's shoot at one guy. It's like that. There's one guy, everyone seems to go after him in one little area. So it's definitely, like I said earlier, it's a game mode that you're really going to have to like learn how it's going to play. And from there you can sort of determine how best to approach it. Because I was trying to do what everyone was doing at the first. You know, I switched my slots to beam scan, flares, heat seekers, and I was like, I'm going to lock guys up quickly and just fire forget missiles, but everyone's doing that, and so you get these really slow moving targets. And I consider myself an above average jet pilot, so I said, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in there and I'm going to shoot them down with my guns. And that's what I did, and I didn't die the entire last half of that match. I just kept going after them with guns. And so it just, I think you got to find the trends. If you're a okay pilot, you just need to pay attention to what's going on and sort of approach it as if you're on foot. You know, if you see a cluster of guys over here, maybe you should avoid that and go after the stragglers. Or if you see a bunch of guys and no good guys, bunch of bad guys, no good guys, maybe don't get involved in that area because you're going to get shot down. Yeah,
I agree with everything about that. And guys, Tony is being modest. He's actually a very, very excellent jet pilot. So take what he says to heart because he knows what he's talking about. Definitely exercise extreme patience when first playing this because it is a clusterfuck. There's jets flying friggin' everywhere. So you have to be very, very aware of your surroundings because you're going to get rammed, unintentionally, mind you. I don't think there's a single death that I had where there is a mid-air collision that was intentional. It's just there's so many people flying around, it's bound to happen, especially when you're trying to capture, you know, quote-unquote flags, if you will. It's basically conquest domination in the air.
Well, on that last point, I think what I'll say is that there is no precision necessary like you playing Conquest where it's 2-on-2 jets, or Rush where it's 1-on-1 jets, where you need to maintain that perfect turning radius. You can actually just go into the fray and fly and not even try not to maneuver, just fly from target to target and be random as possible. And you'll do well, because the second you remain in sort of one area or you try to perform those perfect maneuvers, you're just going to get ganged up by missiles. People are just, they've got their pipper open and they're going to lock on to whatever they lock onto, and they're going to fire both their missiles and then move on to the next target. So it's really a very, like, you have to have a short attention span when you're playing this. You're just like, I'm going to get that guy, then I'm going to move to this guy, and just keep firing and forgetting and just keep moving.
Yep, I agree with all that, but as for me, I'm just going to give it a pass on this game mode. Like I said, I've never really been big into jets, so for me personally, I think it's a flop because I don't care for flying. It's simple as that. I probably won't ever play it again outside of this week or beyond this week, but take what I say with a grain of salt because I'm a Debbie Downer when it comes to flying.
Yeah, I think for me, I don't think it's going to be a game mode that I'm going to jump on and be like, oh god, I want to play Air Superiority right now, just because no one else is going to want to play. So I don't think it's a flop, but I think that maybe there could be more with it in the future if they decide to expand upon this whole, like, let's have jets and not take on like a true flight simulator status, but it would be nice to have something besides just like a TDM of, you know, the sky, or, well, it's conquest, but nobody paid attention to the objectives. So for me, I don't, like I said, I don't think I'm not gonna ignore it, but I know I'm not gonna play as much as I think the purest of jet pilots are gonna play it.
Right, I agree. Alright guys, that's gonna wrap it up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you could do me a favor, check out Tony's channel. There's a link down in the description. I'm sure he would appreciate it.
Yes.
And drop a sub over there if you like what he's got. Trust me, I guarantee you it would be worth your time. Leave some comments, let me know what you guys think about Air Superiority from what you can tell from my absolute shit gameplay, or if you've played it yourself. Other than that, we'll catch you guys next week.
Later.